A few weeks ago I got this kit from Illigo, which is essentially an Arduino clone, and it comes with several components that you can experiment with, such as LEDs, buttons, potentiometers, switches, motors, a lot of things, and it also comes with several tutorials on how you can use them. One interesting tutorial is this one, which uses this keypad, and the example that I have loaded right now into the Arduino is the one that comes with the tutorial. And you'll see that when I press 7, 4, 1, 2, 3, A, everything's just nice, it just works. And this is thanks to this library that comes included with the example that does all the heavy lifting. Now the thing is, how does this work? If you look into the actual datasheet, you'll see that we have 8 pins, but we have 16 buttons. How can it translate 16 buttons into only 8 pins? One of the naive approaches that this could take is that we have 16 inputs. So when a button is pressed, we can just detect the input from that button. We can have 8 pins because we can form this 4x4 matrix. For example, if we have this 8 pin going through all of these buttons, 1, 2, 3, and A, and we also have the yellow, which is 4, then the 3, and the 2, and the 1, we can see where it crosses, and if there is a connection between, for example, 8 and the 2, so 3, then we have a coordinate. How can we look at how this is working behind the scenes? For that, I made this small example that only looks at one column. And this will be the column, the one that has 3, 6, 9, and hash. And you can see that there's this pin, which is 2, and for the hash sign, we have 5, then we have 6, then we have 7, and then we have 8. But here in Arduino, if we look at pin 2, so this one here, the green one, it's connected to pin 3. So everything is just shifted one position forward. As such, this pin 2 will actually be pin 3, and this one, which is pin 9, will be pin 8, and so on and so forth. Now the idea is that we're going to use this pin as the source, so this one here, and all the other ones as the receivers. The first thing we're going to do is set our source to low, so this will be ground, and all the other receivers will be input pull-ups. This is the schematic for a pull-up resistor, and here this ground will be our source, the switch will be the keypad itself, and then this part here, this will be the receiver. And the receiver will have this pull-up resistor, so this one, and this is actually a resistor inside Arduino. When the switch is closed, when I press this button, it means that this circuit here will be closed. So the source and the receiver will be directly connected and will have pretty much 0 volts here. But if the switch is open, then this will be the path being taken and will detect the current coming from the 5 volts. As such, we're going to have this common source all as low, and then we're going to go through all the receivers and see if we have a low read on each of them. If we do, it means that the button was pressed. So this circuit here is closed. For example, if we want to know if 6 was pressed, it means that it needs to be a combination between the pin received 2 and the source. So receive 2 is pin 8, which is actually the 7, because everything is shifted around, and the pin of source, which is this one, the 2, these. If I load this into Arduino, we can see that if I press 3, 6, 9, hash, they get detected correctly. One thing that you might notice is that the final write for the source is a high signal. This is so that we can also go through all the other columns and check them independently without having the interference from this column. And apart from that, we also have this guard here, which is for is press detected, so that when we press this button, or one of these buttons, and we also have this flag set as true, because this would be set as true when they are pressed, we don't have anything else happening. So it just blocks and returns on the loop. So you'll see that even though I'm pressing this button, nothing is happening because it's just returning here. And I could press another button and it wouldn't do anything. But once I release all of them and then press again, then it just starts working again. Finally, I'll also share this code in the description below, so you can play with it if you want. And you can use an Arduino, you can use any Arduino clone like an Iligo, and it should work. So that is all for today. I hope it was interesting, and I'll see you in the next one.